How Did I Miss This? A series where I can look at 3 albums thanks to some patrons that I just didn't have time to review or I've never even heard of. This time we got 3 albums from Europe. America really needs to step up its metal game. I mean that seriously. We are really falling behind. Let's take a look at what I missed. The first album to talk about is The Sacrament of Sin, the 7th studio album from Germany's Powerwolf. If you are a big power metal fan, then you are most likely already familiar with Powerwolf. The Sacrament of Sin was released last July, and this is one I knew all about but just couldn't review it in time because of other things going on. I missed out, and I'm aware of it, and hopefully this is helping to make up for that a bit now. Power metal in itself is meant to be loud and fast and fun. It's supposed to be over the top and enjoyable for that very reason. Powerwolf has nailed that concept of the subgenre, and it shows through almost every second of this album. It's anthemic, it's wild, and it's a blast. In the first 3 songs, from Fire and Forgive, Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend, and Killer with the Cross, you get the full presentation and can sum up what to expect in the entire runtime of this album. Wild guitars, solid build-up in volume and energy, and a fantastic delivery from Attila Dorn. Most of the songs on this 11-track album have a feeling of an 80s movie about to break out at any moment. It's sweeping and engaging. Some songs like Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend and the title track make you want to sing along with your first listen. I admit that some of the songs do sound similar after a while, especially in the second half of The Sacrament of Sin, but the entire fun of this album is blasting different songs and air guitaring along. If you don't air guitar a little while listening to this album at least once, then you might be legally dead. And if you're listening to this album while dead, then that's also really metal. The music here should be taken as individual songs, and there are standouts. The sing-song choruses and great drum work add to each track, like in Where the Wild Wolves Have Gone and Night Side of Siberia, which is how it's pronounced in the song, not Siberia, as we say. It's music great for playing with a bunch of people or in the car while you freak out the nearby drivers. I wish I would have had time this past summer to really talk about this album because I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It just makes me want to see Powerwolf live even more now. There's a lot of metal out there that's supposed to put you in a down mood, in a negative light. Well, Powerwolf is supposed to put a smile on your face. Overall, The Sacrament of Sin delivers something fast, bombastic, and enjoyable. For anyone who is looking to expand their boundaries in music listening and want it to be fun, give these Germans a chance. You'll be howling with Powerwolf for a while. The second album to look at today is Redfog, an EP from Sweden's Orbit Culture. If you're looking for something heavy on the technical side, then Orbit Culture should be up your alley. There isn't a ton of information on this band I can find outside of the group's Bandcamp page. So as for the question, how did I miss this? Well, it's like the past entries where of course I missed it because I've never even heard of Orbit Culture before. For technical skills and ability, Sweden's Orbit Culture has it in spades. At fast speeds and a steady rhythm too. On top of that, the mixing really has everything coming in clear, which is sometimes a problem in metal without it becoming a wall of sound. For the most part here, the music is executed well, and it all sounds great. Tech death metal. You can hear the style and aim in just one listen through the EP's title track. There are many heavy guitar riffs and speed changes, especially throughout the track times, and at a minimum of 5.5 minutes for each song, there is plenty of room for variety. It's in the latter half of Redfog and See Me Through that this EP shines. The breakdown to the tonal change makes something heavy and turns it into something moving and invigorating. That's not easy to get those styles in one fluid motion. It's the change in these songs that makes them stand out because while you're hearing full volume and chaotic growling and thick riffs, it transcends into something smoother and higher sounding in pitch, and it's a great tone. I complain about this every now and then, but metal musicians never get enough credit for being able to write songs with different rhythms and actually make speed changes that completely meet up with each other in the end, or just completely branch off into something different. The other 3 songs, Saw, The Newborn One, and Way of the Masses, are much heavier and consistently furious than the first 2. The speed changes are not as dynamically different, and while these songs definitely are not bad, the music from Orbit Culture really shined when the tone shifted in that title track in See Through Me. Most of the replay value is going to be in the first half of this EP, and I cannot deny the talent and creativity involved in Redfog, the EP. I mean, there is a lot going on, and Orbit Culture is crushing. They've proven that. This is not their first EP, and they've been around since 2013, so hopefully more people can get closer to them and actually hear what they have to put out.
Overall, Redfog should make anyone into death, and especially the technical side of death metal, happy. It's bone-rattling at times and consistently heavy throughout. It might sound ferocious and angry at first, but once you give it a chance, you'll find much more emotion and depth.
Finally, the third album to talk about today is Conspiracy, the second studio album from England's The Raven Age.
Here's a British band that got a good amount of attention a few years ago as they opened for Iron Maiden during a US tour. Part of the reason for this band opening for Maiden is because The Raven Age's guitarist George Harris is the son of Iron Maiden's Steve Harris. That family has some music genes in it. Conspiracy was released only last month in March of 2019. I only knew about this band through the Iron Maiden relation, but when I first sat down to listen to this band as a patron's request, I realized there was much more to this than a standard rock or metal band. Conspiracy is part heavy, part melodic, and it has a lot of depth in almost every song as it goes over 4 minutes, and some over 5. The Day the World Stood Still was the single that I had heard previously, and after hearing the album, this song is a great indicator of what to expect throughout Conspiracy. The melody and rhythm for long segments is the star of this song. The trait is also present in other songs like Surrogate and Blood of the Poison Seed. There are great solos and riffs in Seventh Heaven, and the closing track, Grave of the Fireflies, is the opus that steals the show, going from hard rock riffs to enormous bridges and an incredible guitar work section.
George and Tony of The Raven Age make this entire album. You can put their talent on any other band and it would probably improve them, regardless of who it is. They are that good.
Some of the music does stretch on a bit too long in the verses, and the vocals and lyrics aren't especially stunning, but that's made up for with the Axemen. At almost an hour total runtime, those fretboards get tested. It's mesmerizing at times, and when you realize how the band is still young, this could grow into something special and transcend regardless of the Iron Maiden comparison.
The Raven Age made something moving and a touch dark but not intimidating. They didn't reinvent the wheel or anything, but they proved they have something. Just about any rock or metal fan can jump into this and find something they really like.
Overall, Conspiracy is part hard rock riffs and part melodic metal overture that is backed by some impressive guitars. The instrumental side of the Raven Age is what will give you the replay value. In a world filled with metal bands going soft and chasing trends, here is one that is doing just fine by keeping things heavy and creative.
I was given a solid sample to cover this time, and I'm very thankful for that. I still say, though, that America needs to step up its productivity compared to Europe when it comes to metal. That's not me being unpatriotic, that's just me being greedy and wanting more of something I love. Now that's American.
Big thanks to the 3 patrons who suggested these albums, and a special thanks to Brandon Barenfeld. You can help support Rot and get perks for supporting the channel on Patreon. More information on the YouTube card and link in the description. Please subscribe so you get notified on upcoming album reviews and tons of upcoming festival videos. You can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rot on Facebook and Twitter.